Well, Gaffer, we've got a big week coming up ahead, Tuesday, Saturday, and a chance to keep that momentum going.
No, that's what we want to build on now. It's a really good, two good away performances in terms of performance and a result. And then obviously the first half was disappointing on Saturday, but I think we showed really good character. And the supporters stuck with the players. I think in the end, we could have scored more. So it was a really convincing performance and something that we want to take on to the next game.
Start with some of the positives from Saturday, and one thing that I'm sure you're really pleased with is the amount of chances you made in the second half.
Well, I think all game, every time we attack with any quality, we look like scoring. And the problem is first half, every time Rochdale attacked us, it looked like scoring as well. But second half, we saw it out, a change of shape. We obviously had a few discussions at half time, and our change of shape really helped us. I nullified their threat, but it gave us momentum, give us a load of impetus, and I think the tempo. When we play a good tempo, I think we're a good team. When we slow it down and play slow and take too many touches, then we can be a little bit off it. So I'm really pleased with the second half performance.
In terms of the 3 games so far, there's obviously been marked improvement in terms of results, and you are still unbeaten. But looking at this week ahead, what in particular would be one focus that you'd like to try and improve in the side?
Again, it's really difficult. Today we've come in, second day recovery, the players have got a long trip up to Harrogate. We can't do any work on a training ground. It's really, really tough. These 4 away games on a Tuesday night I've never really known that, to be honest. But I think just belief. So continue the belief. After we played Forest Green away, I was in 2 minds whether to have Wednesday off and then bring them in Thursday, Friday before Saturday. But we come in Wednesday just for a cool down and made sure that they had all the rest of Wednesday off and Thursday off as well. So in terms of our preparation, it probably hindered us because we only got 1 day's work on Rochdale. But I think the last 25 minutes showing that our energy levels look really good, whereas Rochdale's dwindled a lot. So you're always trying to balance off the work that you're getting on a training ground, but at this stage of the season we ain't going to get them any fitter. But what we can do is we can keep them fresh mentally and physically, and I thought last 25 minutes the subs come on and done really well, but I thought we looked really fit and looked like we could score every time we attacked.
In terms of the next 7 or 8 days, I know we obviously take games one at a time, but we are playing teams that are in and around us and can have a big impact on how the next
but it can be dangerous as well, because if you're not on it and they can get 3 points up on you, it can be dangerous. So again, the only thought process in my mind is let's go up to Harrogate, let's be difficult to beat again, and obviously try and keep that attacking threat which we did show in the last half an hour. I'm really pleased with everybody input. Everybody's pulling the same direction here. The players have been fantastic, the staff. Obviously I know PT from when I've worked with him before, so I know what he offers. But Matt's been tremendous, not argumentative, but puts his point forward, which I like. I don't like people that just sit there and nod their head. Puts his point to me, argues his case. If I say no, then he'll argue his case a little bit more, and then we'll come to a decision. But I like that. I think we've got a good dynamic within the coaching staff, and I would say everybody, the physios and all the fitness lads are working really hard. I've got a real good feel about the club.
In terms of Harrogate Town themselves, what do you think we can expect from them in terms of
they've obviously been on a journey for a few years now. It helps when the manager's boss is his dad. But no, I really like Simon, and I like Paul Thurwell as well, his assistant. They're good lads. I've played against them a couple of times, and they're building a club. They've come from obviously the conference. They've ripped the Astro pitch up. They've put grass down, difficult to play. Know exactly what you're going to get from them. They've brought lads through the non-league scene, and are very appreciative of the opportunity. And one thing that they do is they work to their absolute maximum. So if you go there and expect an easy game, they'll run all over you. So fit team, strong team, and a team that are really effective in this league. I think they've had another decent season. At times, just on the verge of probably 1 or 2 wins away from being on the playoffs. But no, they've had a really good season again.
In terms of yourself for squad selection tomorrow night, obviously we know Paul Smith was kind of brought up as a precaution. Is he looking like he'll be featuring?
Paul Smith will feature. Obviously, we just need to make sure. Again, he'll lead that. We'll have a conversation with him tomorrow. We'll let today. He's come in and cooled down and feels good. If you know Paul, you don't know if he's tired because he's the loudest person in the change room. The door's just open now. You probably hear him, but he's infectious. What we don't want to do is I'd rather have Paul Smythe for 30 minutes, 100% maximum, than have Paul Smythe for 70 minutes and his feet fatigue and he's thinking about if he gets an injury. You know, what I want to do is I want to get a run of games towards the end of the season, Paul, where we can pick him for 7-8 games on the bounce, so we know he's 100% fit. Other than that, George Ray has recovered from his hamstring tightness, so he'll come back into the squad.
Slightly more longer term as well. We saw Tom James back on the grass as well.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of an update on his comeback?
Well, again, he's probably not going to feature this year. Maybe the last 1 or 2 games, but that, if we're in a position where we don't need to risk his injury, the most important thing is he's 100% ready and fully over it. I know Tom, obviously I've signed him before, I've tried to sign him a couple of seasons before that. I've seen his progress. I always like looking at players that I've worked with, watch their career when we go our separate ways, but Tom's a really talented footballer, technically very, very good, and what we're asking of our full-backs he can definitely do. So he's a big miss, but I have to say that Tomo's been consistent. You know exactly what you're going to get from Tomo. Dennis Irwin, 7 out of 10 every single week, makes a decision. Do I need 1 touch? Do I need 3 touch? Do I head it? Do I bring it down? So Tomo's been fantastic. So although we are missing Tom and his certain qualities, then Tomo has been fantastic as a replacement.
Brilliant.